Good morning. So it's 22nd of August, and I just thought I'd do one more video here at the Valley Center Ranch, just because it's so much fun, and I'm gonna be quite busy starting next week because we are going to be harvesting. So how we harvest, and not so much here because this is all new plants, right? But at the other ranches, you've seen the videos. At the other ranches, we have to walk through the entire plantation or the entire orchard just to look for fruit, because we pick fruit every single day, 7 days a week we pick. So I'm walking over here now to an area that has a few fruit. We planted this very late last year. In fact, the plants were so young they got a little bit of cold damage, but they've come back with the spring. We had a relatively warm, wet spring, so they really bounced back well, and they are producing a few fruit. So these flowered yesterday, or actually the last of the flowering was yesterday. I think maybe about a week ago they started. Like, for example, I see one here. There's one that probably flowered yesterday. Still got some life in it. And we'll come up, you see, to this one here that was flowered a few days before that. So when all this matures, right, we have to walk through and pick it on first, at the most, the second day of color. So we walk through just like this, and we see a mature fruit, and we harvest it, collect it, send it into the packing house, or our packing house, refrigerate it, grate it, box it up, send it to Los Angeles, and so on and so forth. So this was all planted, this was all planted this year. Goes all the way down below that, the end of what we can see here, and all the way down over there. But this top section was planted last year. And let me see, I'm going to come back, turn around, and walk back a few rows from where I came in here, just to show you another section. But I just love this area because it's relatively flat. The soil is so deep. We use well water. What else? All my organics are here. This is the organic ranch I've told you. This was the first area that we planted last year, and it has some fruit. This is an experimental one that has relatively large fruit. These ones that I painted here, this is what we call a precocious one, because it's come into fruiting quite early. So you can see there's actually a fair amount of fruit on here for young plants. The problem is that this one is just a little bit heat sensitive. the plant burns. I've got heat sensitivity to fruit, and I got heat sensitivity to plant. And this one exhibits the plant heat sensitivity. Oh, there's some damage right there. See, we'll have to cut that off. And this one, as much as I like it, probably not going to make it. I might be able to grow this at my, here's a really bad one. We'll cut this. I've been cutting it off, but we'll cut this off. See, I open it up. As soon as I see the wound starting, I typically sort of break the skin so that it's sort of a secondary infection. It's bacterial ooze is what it is, and it spreads. So I tend to open it up. But, you know, here we are talking about heat sensitivity. This is just one of the problems with breeding. You just don't know. And actually, I say breeding. It's when you're growing dragon fruit in general, the first thing you want to do is get as many different varieties as you can and grow them in your region. You know, grow as many as you can of each variety that will give you some kind of indicator. So if you can grow 5 or 10 of each one, and you can grow them relatively successfully, then you're going to get the results from that, and you're going to have a relative value to each other. So in this case, I grew like 200 of these to get the indicator. And I'll look from the value of this variety in terms of its precocity, its early season, and see if it's worth putting up some kind of shade cloth. Don't think so. I think what I'll do is concentrate. If I use it at all, I'll concentrate it at one of the ranches that doesn't get too warm. Okay, so I can't be making too many more videos because it's going to get busy. Starting next week, I have to go through every single row, top and bottom, and just look for fruit. That means all the ranches that you've seen with all those flowers and hillsides, we got to get all prepared to walk those rows every single day, the entire ranch, well, ranches. All right, so we're back here. We'll talk to you soon. Have a nice day. Cheers, Gray.